Welcome to
No Fucking Filter.
Hi.
We are back.
We're back.
Almost matching today.
Oh yeah, very close.
We're in green.
Yeah, wearing green sweatsuits today, and we have our water because hydration is key.
Yeah. Are you doing dry January?
I am not doing entirely dry January, but pretty close to it.
Moist January?
Yeah. There's a few days out of January where I will be having some cocktails.
Yeah. I think you need a cocktail to get through parts of January, to be honest.
Are you doing dry January?
No. But I don't drink a lot anyway. We went to a bridal event a couple of weeks ago, Unveiled.
Oh, yeah.
We saw some of our friends there that might be listening.
Yes.
It was a great time.
That was so much fun. One of the best events, I think.
Yeah. They are amazing. It was we went last year and we had such a good time that we went this year, and this year was even better.
Better.
If you're on the fence about going next year, definitely buy a ticket.
Highly suggest it, and it's just a nice chance to dress up, go enjoy some champagne, some bridal festivities, whether you're a bride or supporting a bride or photographers or in the industry.
Yeah, it was so
Love
nice
it.
to meet some new friends and
So
see
cute.
some faces we hadn't seen in a while, but we definitely had a few cocktails.
Yes.
And my hangovers last for quite a while these days, so.
Yeah, we're not getting any younger, and
No, we are not.
okay, well, Lisa, tell everyone what episode we're unpacking today.
Do you think they're ready?
I don't think anyone's ready.
You guys are not sitting down. You should sit down for this. We came for the clients last week. Pretty hard, maybe, but if you were a vendor and you thought you were going to escape our wrath, you were wrong.
Think again, you're under the microscope
We're coming
today.
for you this week. We're going to talk about bad vendor behavior.
Yes.
And do we have some stories?
We sure do. So I don't even know where to start, to be honest, because there's tons of vendors in the industry, and I feel like there's bad behavior from all of them. We've seen lots of crazy stories. So, why don't we start? Let's start off with like the beginning of the day. So like hair and makeup.
Hair and makeup.
Let's start there, I think.
Yeah. Love them. An essential part of the day.
Oh yeah.
They work hard. They have to get up really early to do a whole team of hair and makeup, but there's some bad behavior out there. I mean, we're not going to name anyone. We'll just link their Instagram in the show notes. Just kidding. I had let's just call it a mountain vendor of hair and makeup. So it was a mountain wedding. I always get there when hair and makeup's kind of just wrapping up. Probably the same for most photographers. But I got to the room and hair and makeup was not there yet.
That's scary.
Yeah, they were like 3 hours late.
Oh my gosh.
They had called the bride in the morning and there was some sob story about they got locked out of their house and their makeup kit was inside and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so the whole wedding was pushed by 3 hours.
That's insane.
The couple then had to pay for me to stay 3 hours longer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I felt so bad. Thankfully the bride was like pretty easygoing and chill, but
oh my gosh, she
was in tears. It was not a great start to the day, and yeah.
No kidding.
Bad behavior.
If any bride out there would be devastated at that. That's insane. So like I think as a vendor working in such a high level industry, you have to be prepared for anything and everything to go wrong. You need to be preparing the night before. And like, if you get locked out of your house, you have to be like, okay,
I mean,
how
allegedly,
did that happen?
in my opinion,
you never know
when they arrived, she seemed a little hungover. So I'm not gonna.
Oh my god!
I'm not gonna make accusations. Hopefully that is what happened, but like, regardless,
yeah,
I don't know.
Oh my god,
stuff happens for sure. But
I don't know how I would like being that makeup artist and then showing up and having to do the makeup when you've already disappointed a
Oh,
bride,
yeah.
you're off to a bad
The
start.
the bridesmaids were like seething. They were so mad.
I bet. Like,
Yeah.
and then you have to work under that pressure, which is, it's tough, but you did it to
The
yourself.
vibes in the room were not great.
No, I'm actually surprised she showed up at all at that point. Like, I
Well,
would
they
be
didn't
so
know if she
embarrassed.
would. They were like doing each other's hair and makeup at that point because they were like had so many like, we're on our way, we're coming, blah blah blah. Anyway.
You literally have to have a fail safe of like everything, and whether that story she said was true or not, you gotta be like,
Yikes.
say it is true, right? You just have to be like, how do you get locked out your house?
I think
Like,
as a
don't do that.
vendor too, you always have to give yourself an extra like hour, 2 hours on a wedding day.
100%.
Like if I'm shooting a wedding in the mountains, I'm out there an hour early because I'm so scared that there's like traffic or an accident or who knows. Like you have to have that buffer.
I think that most people are not sleeping in. They're losing sleep, if anything, working in the wedding industry because you're like so anxious. You're checking your cards like 5 or 6 times. You're checking that you have everything. And it's like, as much as you can double, triple check, things do go wrong. But we just have learned from
Maybe at the end we'll
past mistakes.
each share a little story of something that went wrong for us, like our own bad behavior.
Okay, well, I have a huge story that
I think you should share it. I've got one too. So
I think that would be a whole thing to unpack. I think that needs its own episode. Like for everyone listening, I have had a huge mistake happen on my end as a wedding photographer. Not quite ready to share it
let's
yet.
think about it. Maybe at the end you'll be ready.
Yeah.
I'll share mine.
We'll see.
I'll share mine. You share yours.
Okay, and I actually I don't know if you saw on Instagram, but a little while ago, there was this makeup artist. I'm not sure exactly where she was from, but she was posting a video of her doing this bride's hair or makeup and talking badly about the bride.
Whoa.
In this video. It was insane.
That's just
It
bad
kind of blew up.
business.
Oh yeah, very bad business. So like that's a huge bad, like any vendors that are willing to like speak badly about someone after the fact too, like that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad. Don't do that.
No, even if you, yeah.
Like I think it was just a tactic to blow up on Instagram because like that was so bizarre for her to make that video.
Yeah.
She was like, this is like, okay, so mind you, she was kind of making like a bad client behavior video, which
we just did.
we just did.
We're like, how
So,
dare
yeah.
anyone say bad things about their clients?
But it was very directed to this exact person, which was so the wrong way to do it. So like
Yeah.
in general, there's bad things that clients do, but it was like she woke up with wet hair, this and that, and expected me to blow dry it, which
No.
and it was just like I get it, but like don't make it about that specific person. Crazy.
You don't want to put those vibes out there.
No. Anything else for hair and makeup?
This wasn't necessarily bad behavior. It was just like an unfortunate incident that happened this year. But the makeup person's car was broken into in the night and they had their full makeup kit in there and it was stolen. So they called the bride immediately and were like, hey, all my makeup's stolen. This is the morning of the wedding. They're supposed to be showing up.
Oh my gosh, that
So
bride.
that sends everyone into a panic, the whole bridal party.
Yeah.
She resolved it and found someone else's kit to borrow or someone else came, whatever. There was a resolution. But I think as a vendor, things go wrong, it happens, but you don't ever want to call until you have the solution.
100%.
If she would have called and been like, hey, this happened, I'm running a few minutes late, but don't worry.
Yeah, we've got it
the
sorted.
plan. That
Oh my
would have like
gosh.
eased, but to just
Yeah.
call and be like so upset yourself, like I think she was very upset and rightfully so, but to call and be upset and then
Yeah.
not have a plan, yay, that's not good.
No, absolutely not. Like, get
It
your
worked
shit
out
sorted.
fine. She handled it, but yeah, I think
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
you
As a
never want to
bride,
break that bad news without like a plan B.
Yeah, you have to figure out your plan B, or at least say that you're working on a solution. This is what's going to happen, kind of thing.
Okay, I have the next one.
Which one?
The bridal dress stores.
Okay.
We're going to
That's a big
have
one.
a bride who had a terrible experience on to talk about it. But many of you, if you live in Calgary and are in the wedding industry, have heard of this. There was a bridal store just outside of Calgary that recently closed down. So people had ordered their dresses through this. I'm going to put store in quotes because I think it was like in someone's basement or something. But they
I
were
wasn't sure.
marketing
I'm not
themselves
sure.
as a legit store.
Right.
So they just went bankrupt, whatever, closed down. But brides had ordered their dresses through them and were like waiting to get their dresses. And this store just up and closed, like gone.
I can't
Deposits
believe
gone. Brides were
What
like
are they
without the
supposed
dress
to
they had
do?
ordered.
What, like,
Yeah. What are they supposed
what
to
if
do?
they're, that's insane to me. Like, I would not
Yeah.
want to be a bride dealing with that.
No.
And like, you rely on these vendors, you pay these vendors for
Mm-hmm.
a reason because this is such a big day and you plan so far in advance. And for something to just like be
Yeah.
ripped from beneath you,
Gone.
like,
Bye.
there's a couple stories you saw someone share about a venue that just like last minute.
Yeah, I talked to her actually. I think she needs a little time to process what happened, and
Totally.
then she might actually come on the podcast as a guest and share her story. But they had booked with a venue for this year, and the venue just closed. And they were left in the lurch. They'd already like sent out invites, invited people, and nothing.
You literally
Just
have
gone.
to start from square one. Step one.
Not to mention them. I don't know if they got their deposit back or not, but a lot of people are losing their deposits. As
What
well.
a disaster.
Yeah.
And like there's really no way to like know if that's going to happen. There's no way to like work in a fail safe on a
I think
bride's
the way
behalf,
to know is to deal with reputable vendors.
Yeah.
Like if you're buying a dress from someone's basement, like maybe that's a bit of a red flag. I don't know.
Lisa, you have a point there.
It'd be a red flag for me.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I think if something ever sounds too good to be true, also
Maybe
like
it
if
is.
you're like, ooh, this is so nice and it's so like inexpensive and whatever, like that's a red flag.
Except for hiring us because it is too good to be true. And
Yeah, that's true.
it's going to be amazing.
That's true.
Okay, well, that's a really good story. I feel like we should talk about venues now since we're already in that.
Venues.
Venues, there's so much. I
Venues
feel like
are
they're
like
the
their
biggest
own-
one.
Their own entity. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like we don't really get to talk with people that are at venues. It's a little bit of a different vendor relationship between vendors.
Yeah, I mean, we know some venues in the city, and we know the people that own them, and they are lovely.
True. Yeah.
But there's some crazy ones out there. Do you have a story?
Yeah, well, like the bigger venues or hotels that are running things, they obviously have staff on that are designated helpers with like the planning and what would you call them? Like what's their Coordinator, yeah.
Yeah.
So like venue coordinators. And I've heard stories where, they're talking to a certain venue coordinator, they get the boot or they quit, and then there's a new person on. There's been this huge miscommunication. Clients have to get to know someone completely new for their day. It's a disaster. So like, I feel like that's the most common thing I hear from wedding couples is like, oh, I've been talking to this person, then I have to talk to this person. It's like so
Yeah.
much miscommunication, right? So
There seems to be a really high turnover in that position for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'm sure it's like a lot of stress on those planners, or maybe they've just been given the.
That just reminds me, actually. Remember, we went for drinks after Unveiled, and our server actually, we said we just came from that event and we were wedding photographers, and our server actually used to have that position. She was a coordinator at a venue.
That's right.
And she said she quit because it was just so stressful having to deal. Like, she was just working at a restaurant. She didn't want this job, but
Yeah.
she basically just became this like coordinator for their restaurant that had weddings, and it was just
my
like mayhem. So she
gosh.
quit.
Yeah, that's probably what happens. It's like they're like, oh well, you know how to plan things, or you're great with people. Here's this position, and you're not making any more.
That's kind of a little like side note to our couples. A venue coordinator is not a wedding planner.
No, they are not.
Two separate things, and you need both.
Yes, you do.
Do you have any crazy venue experiences yourself?
So luckily, like nothing canceling or super bad like interactions with the venue. But you were with me on this wedding day.
Yeah, I was.
Which is a whole other thing that is a bad vendor behavior. But a lady came up to Lisa as she was my second shooter. So right off the bat, she's not going to the lead photographer. She's going to the second, pulls her into her office. And honestly, Lisa,
Also,
I think you need to tell it.
She was not, okay, yeah.
You need to tell the story
Okay.
because you firsthand experienced it and you know the details.
I need to take a sip for this.
Yeah. Tell
Okay,
it.
so I'm second shooting for Sophia. Usually, if there's any sort of like questions or whatever, they would go to the lead photographer because I don't know what's going on. I'm just along for the
Yeah.
ride. But this owner of this venue comes up and she's not like, "Hi, I'm so and so. Nice to meet you." She's just like, "I need to bring you to my office," and I'm like, "Okay." Her office is a back room in the like a storage room in the venue. So I'm like, "Okay, go with her." She has a computer, probably from like 2002 maybe, like it's old school, a desktop.
A big guy.
She's like, "I need to show you something." Boots it up. It's like we're like
You're
waiting
just
there. I'm
standing
like,
there.
"Okay."
You're like, well, I actually should be like with the boys
Yeah.
right now, but okay.
Okay, so I'm just dying to know what she has to show me. She pulls up every other photographers that's worked there. Like she has them organized in folders of the weddings, and she shows me, "We really like this photo, so if you could get this, that one's pretty nice. We don't like this because the background is blurry."
I'm sorry, that just means we have a high quality camera. Like, are you joking?
And then she's telling me, we need this photo on the staircase, and I need this for like blah blah blah. And I'm just kind of like,
I
sure,
was
yeah, okay.
outraged when Lisa told me this. I like my blood boiled. Like I saw red. I was like, I'm gonna go talk to her. Like, we're not here for you. Like if we get some, like, we're always diligent. We love to get details for the florist. We do like to get details of the venue, and that's a great relationship. But that's not the way to go about it, is do not pull us and show us what we need to be taking for you and just expecting we're there for you.
No. Actually, this kind of applies to all vendors. I think all photographers are happy to share the photos afterwards. We want you to use them because it's beneficial to us too. If someone comes to your website and sees an amazing photo, they're going to be like, "Oh, who was the photographer?" But we don't owe those to you.
No.
It's a favor to you. So if you're not nice to us, no fucking way you're getting those photos.
No, this lady was so entitled and just, I don't know what in her brain like made her feel like she could do that. And I feel like
Did you send her the gallery?
No, absolutely not. But like, this is the thing. It's so funny to me because that exact couple asked for all their photos not to be shared anyway.
Well,
So
you know,
it's
if Karen over in the office gets them, she's sharing those everywhere.
Yeah. Well, without my permission.
Yeah.
So we'll have
That's kind of a
conversation.
follow-up too. Like I said, we're happy to share, but some like vendor etiquette, if you're a vendor and you don't know this, if you get photos from the photographer and you're going to use them on your website or social media or whatever, you have to credit us.
Yeah,
they're not
you
just
have to.
yours, and they're ours. We're sharing them with you with the
Yes.
understanding that you are going to credit us.
And I've seen some pretty sneaky crediting, I will say. Like, you can tell when someone just wants it to not even show up, and it's like the tiniest font at the very bottom of all these like, no, like, you can put it on the photo, you can ask us, we can brand them if you need it, like it, whatever. But yeah.
And we do the same. When we're sharing photos from a wedding day, we credit all those other vendors.
Yes, we do.
So.
And we love to do that. Like you said, it's a really good relationship. It's beneficial for both people. Crazy. So yeah. This venue, I don't know. Like, I've gotten some inquiries to go back there, and I just don't think I want to. Like,
Yeah, I'm not coming.
no.
I have another venue story.
Yes,
This
share.
was like I have a couple kind of related to this, and probably other photographers will have a similar experience. But this was a local one in Calgary. Do I call it out? No, I'm not going to call it out.
No. What does it rhyme with?
Oh, it rhymes with mean mouse.
Okay, I got it. Okay, that's a little. Go ahead and try and make your guesses.
Before I say it, I've since been back recently for another event, and they were lovely. So maybe it was just again like a coordinator that was doing a bad job. And yeah, they were lovely. Anyway. The wedding was in a tent outside, and I always speak to the couples beforehand about how I like to sit with the guests if possible. And, you know, they ask what I want for my meal, and I have a place set to come and sit down and eat and whatever. So when I was taking photos of the tent, the venue coordinator was in there too, and I was like, oh, perfect, this is my spot. I'm just going to leave my bag here. And, at dinner time, I come back in, and my bag's in the corner, and my spot is gone.
Oh.
It had literally my name, like a beautiful plate with my name, and it's gone. And I was like, I just noticed my chair and my stuff's gone. And she's like, oh, photographers don't eat with the guests. They eat inside. And I was like, well, no, I've spoken to my couple about it, and they want photos during dinner, and I need to hear what's going on so that if speeches start or if someone comes to their table to give them a hug or whatever, I'm here. That's why they put me in this particular spot. Oh, no, we don't. It's policy. We don't allow it.
What?
And so
what kind of
I was
policy
like,
is that?
Well, I don't want to have to go talk to the bride about it. It's her wedding day. But if you don't sit me there, I'm going to have to do that. So anyway, I had to go speak to the bride, and she asked for my place to be put back. And it was. So I think everything's fine. We sit down for dinner. The soup comes. It was like a 3 or 4 course or whatever. The soup comes. Everyone, all the sweet guests I'm sitting with get their soup. I don't get mine. So they're waiting for me to start. And I'm like, no, guys, go ahead. It's fine. And so the server comes around. I'm like, oh, sorry, I didn't get my soup. And they're like, oh, no, sorry, photographers don't get the 3 courses. You get a vendor meal. So all the guests at this table are do you want some of my soup? I'm like, no, sorry. It's so embarrassing. I'm like, no,
wonder they didn't want you to sit there because they don't feed you the same. Like, what the hell?
So salad comes, same thing. I'm still just sitting there. It's so awkward. I think one of the guests actually was like, excuse me, she needs her salad. So, yeah. And that's not the first time. A long time ago when I was first starting in Vancouver, we shot a wedding, or I was a second shooter, I shot with someone else, and they literally made us eat in a storage room with the cleaning supplies, like down the hallway from the couple. We like sat on buckets and ate our meal.
I cannot. True story. That is not true.
It's 100% true.
You're like, on buckets.
Hang on, let me move the mop aside so I can have my bread.
I'm just imagining you on this bucket in a freaking storage room. That's bizarre.
So every 2 seconds we have to get up and run down the hallway to see if speeches are starting.
Why are we treated like the help?
I don't know, but it's a common thing. People treat us like we're like their servant or something.
Oh my gosh. That is becoming more common. I feel like but when I first started, I was always sat inside the room or like with other guests. Now I'm told more and more that I should be sitting outside.
They're like, oh, we have a cute little picnic table in the parking lot for you.
Miles away. You'll be running back and forth for speeches.
Down the street, hang a left.
Like, Jesus. I know it's like common when there is a planner. They're really good about like, okay, speeches won't be happening so that you can actually sit down and relax. So there's a different viewpoint from a planner's point of view. They want you out of the room so that you can actually have some time to sit down, which I get and I like, but I also don't like for different reasons, right? So
I usually talk to my couples about it in our consultation like a month out. I'm like, I'd love to sit with the guests if possible so I can see you.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on you because then you'll get better photos. Yeah, what if some your grandma comes by or whatever?
And you're running and you're like, well, and if we're out of the room, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know. So.
And if anyone doesn't know, we are starving.
Yes.
At that point in the day, we're so hungry.
Okay, this would be something that I think if people looked from the outside, they would think would be bad vendor behavior. So like all the wedding guests might think that this is like, oh my gosh, why are the photographers going up to eat first? Well, let us tell you, this is a common practice and should be well known to like all couples
The world.
and clients. Like literally everyone should know. We have not eaten since we've arrived. We have like, we bring snacks sometimes or whatever if we need it, but like when we get to dinner, like we should eat first so that we can get back to our job. We're not just there to like enjoy dinner. We're like, okay, shovel it into our face and then we can get back to work.
Also, if speeches are happening during dinner, guess what? We don't get to sit down and eat. The saddest thing, I'm sure you had this too. You get like your beautiful dinner and you're like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. Finally, I get to eat. You're taking that first bite and the planner's like, hi, we're just going to start speeches. And you're like, fuck, okay.
Yeah.
The worst. So you get up, you come back, your plate's gone.
Oh my gosh, that was another one
So
I was
many
just
times.
about to bring up.
Okay, maybe there's like a mixed vibes on this, but during cocktail hour, they're passing around like spring rolls or whatever.
Yeah.
That I feel like that's the peak of my hunger. Is that I'm like,
Oh my God.
dear God, I'm so hungry. Do you eat? Like, if a tray is walking by, do you grab one?
You're joking, right? Because that temptation, I can't deny it. I always
to.
try to. I usually leave it if I can, but like when it's over here and I take a picture of it, I'm like, I'm gonna snag one of those.
I used
too.
to be like polite and be like, no thanks, I'm good, and then just stare at it the whole time. Now I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'm getting one of those.
Yeah, I found that I can't remember which venue I was at, but they avoided me like the plague.
Oh yeah, sometimes the servers like know we're working and they just
they walk right
or
past
they
us.
give you like the dirtiest look if you take one.
Yeah, so there's that as well. Wow, we have a lot for venues.
We do have a lot for venues.
Dang.
Yeah. Okay,
but
what's
who's
next?
Next. Okay, let's might as well get into wedding planners.
Oh yeah.
We're going vendor by vendor here. So
Generally on a wedding day, the planner is our best friend.
yeah,
Like we need them.
Yeah, we do.
We
But-
often talk to them before the wedding. They'll usually reach out and coordinate stuff with us, talk about the timeline, whatever.
There's not much bad to say about planners, but we obviously all of us know about that story about the planner hanging the dress on.
Oh, yeah.
Why did she choose?
Okay, wait, tell the story because maybe.
Okay,
maybe
so
some people don't know.
if someone doesn't know the story, a wedding planner shows up in the morning. She's hanging the dress for the bride. She decides to hang it on a fire. What is that? Like
Sprinkler.
a sprinkler, fire sprinkler out of the roof. She's like, that's a great idea.
It's got a little spot for a hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. One thing that maybe planners do that maybe I don't love because it kind of takes away from my job is getting everything set up for me already. It's like sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. I'm going to switch it anyway, but having everything in one place, cool. But this planner was obviously trying to get it prepped and ready for the photographer to arrive. She decides to hang the dress in a terrible spot. It obviously makes the sprinkler go off. Everything is ruined.
The whole venue floods. The makeup gets wet.
Whole makeup kits are messed up. Like
Those are like thousands of dollars.
and thousands of dollars. So I
All
feel
the photography
so bad.
equipment.
Oh my gosh. Like, I don't know. That's
a big fail.
Like anything that's already been done, garbage, like hair and makeup, toast. So yeah, I think a lot of planners are either looking at that like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How could that happen? Or they were like, okay, well, I won't be doing that
Note
next
to
time.
self.
I had an idea about that. No.
I feel like that's not. They should just leave that for us. It's not their job.
You don't need to do that. We've got that. Thanks for trying to help, but
Yeah.
usually I'm not going to like where you hang the dress anyway.
Yeah. What I love in a planner is I get there and she's like, hi, Lisa, whatever, introduces herself, has a plan. She's like, come to me if you need anything.
Yes.
And then throughout the day, she's keeping us on track. Like planners are a certain personality type. They are on the couple, they're keeping things in line. But I've definitely had some planners who aren't that personality type, and it kind of affected the day. Like you have to be on it to be a planner. You have to be comfortable being like, okay, guys, time to move on to the next thing. If you're just like a chill vibes, like that's not.
Oh my gosh.
I think you should pick a different career.
I think I have upset a lot of planners because I don't know when to quit. I'm like, if you're really vibing and you're getting so many good pictures and then you look at your watch and you're like, oh my God, okay, like, yeah, we got to go. The planners texted you 5 times. Like, where are they? Like, are they arriving? And yeah, so
it's on everyone to stick to that timeline. But I do appreciate when they make it happen because we have a heart out.
We do need them,
to leave at night. And sometimes, you're like looking around like, hey, the dances haven't even started and we're done in 10 minutes. So it's really nice when you have a planner that's taking care of that for you.
They're very helpful, for sure. And I love weddings when we have them because they help me stay on track.
You have a bad vendor story about a planner though, right?
This was an unfortunate situation. But like we were saying before with the hair and makeup not showing up, you really have to put your ducks in a row, plan ahead. If anything is to happen, you kind of need to have a backup plan, right? This planner was at the wedding and became ill, had to leave, but there was no team or plan B in place. So
she just pieced out.
She left.
Yay.
She has a team, so I'm a little confused that why they didn't show up, but I would have had the team come, show up, take down, do what her obligation was, but instead no one showed up, and the bride and groom were left spending their wedding evening cleaning up, taking care of everything. It was just...
Meanwhile, they've hired this person and paid them money to do this for them.
Yeah. So that was probably the worst thing I've seen from a planner, but... Yeah, and unfortunately, it was a health issue, and she had to leave and stuff. Like, everyone gets sick, and there's things that happen, but it's the plan B, okay? That's okay that she had to leave, right? But it's what she followed with that's the issue here, right?
It's kind of, I feel like this kind of relates back to what we were talking about with the dress store that went under or whatever. Like, if you're hiring a planner who just does it on the side, like, to help you out.
Yeah, there's not
their
gonna be a
side gig.
plan B.
Like, you really... The money you may have saved on that could have ruined your whole night.
Yes.
So pay the little bit more money. Go with someone that is a proven professional in the industry. Don't pick your cousin's sister who does it on the side. It's not the time for that.
No. Which I think just leads us into kind of, this is a general one. It's not another vendor at the moment, but just bad attitudes.
Yeah.
Like every vendor that you hire for your wedding will play a crucial part and will really set the tone for your wedding. I think we talk about this so often, but it's so true. So if you have a vendor that kind of shows up, kind of has that bad attitude, that's just going to affect the bride and groom and everyone
they can pick
around
up
you.
On that energy.
Yeah, so connecting with your vendors, making sure that you guys really jive, that you get along with each other, because you're going to be spending all day with them. Yeah. So hire us.
Yeah.
Hire us.
Also, if you guys don't know, you can hire, I think, did we say this last time? I'm just going to say it every time.
It is in our last
You can hire us as a team.
Yeah.
Capture your wedding day.
Yeah, because I do video.
And I do photo.
Yeah. So we're a little team made in heaven. Here we go. Let's cheers our mics.
Okay, there's one vendor that we are going to go hard on. And are you ready for it?
This is probably the worst vendor, I think. with the most issues.
This is the worst vendor out there.
Brr, brr, brr.
Also, the vendor that can make or break your
evening
day.
in every way. Yeah.
Okay, who is it?
Brr, brr, brr.
The DJ.
The DJ.
Ooh,
we all knew this was
is a big
coming.
one. This is a big one.
There's very few good DJs out there. I will just come out and say it.
Yeah.
There are a lot of bad ones.
Yeah, there are.
And whether the DJ is coked up, on drugs, or drinking heavily at your wedding, which I have a story for. There's a lot that can go wrong with the
Tell
DJ.
us the story.
So
what went wrong?
Okay, so this particular DJ, the bride and groom were informed by either the planners or the venue themselves that as he was setting up, he had already asked for 2 double rum and cokes. He had had a beer and a shot while he was setting up the
This
booth.
guy was like here for a good time.
Yes, he was not here to play around.
He forgot that it wasn't his party.
Yeah, so this DJ,
He had 10 drinks and then
yeah, and they were like, okay, like, we need to inform the bride and groom that, like, what do you want us to do? Because, like, it's really gracious of bride and grooms to, like, allow vendors to partake or, you know, have 1 or 2 or whatever. But this DJ was obviously taking advantage of that opportunity, and he had all his stuff set up, and he went up to get another double, and they were like, I'm sorry, like, you can't have any more, and, like, I was not informed, like, how that went down or anything, so I don't know the full story, but yeah, like,
It's not a good
he
look.
got cut off.
It's not a professional vibe.
He got cut off.
He should have been cut off.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've seen that. I've seen just DJs being kind of weird and like sketchy or
They're
just
not. Again, this is not a time to hire like your brother's buddy who has some DJ equipment.
Yes.
It's really not, because we've seen it go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
A DJ, you need to hire a professional. You need to give them a playlist and tell them what the vibe of your wedding is, because I've seen this so many times. I actually feel like I could be a DJ. Wait, I just think I could be every vendor.
At least I could do it all.
No, okay.
Just hire her.
Here's the formula for anyone that wants to learn to be a wedding DJ. Here's the formula. You can't come in with the bangers like right off the bat. You can't.
Okay.
We've seen it, because guess who goes out on the dance floor?
Yeah.
No one. You need to come in with like a classic sing-along, like Sweet Caroline. I don't know, one of those that like we all kind of grown at, but like grandma's out there because she knows it.
Yeah, you want the like
You want the old people to come in. You want to have sing-along kind of classics for the beginning. And then as the old people start to leave,
Then we can ramp it up.
Then you can bust out the rowdier stuff. But it scares the old people away if you put something crazy on in the beginning.
Yes. And I find that if something goes crazy at first, like it does get everyone like different crowds, I guess, but usually people will come on just quickly and then leave.
Yeah.
They'll
There's
just be there for
nothing
that
more
one.
depressing than looking out at the dance floor and it's empty.
Yeah, and it feels weird to like really ramp it up and then bring it back down. Like, let's ease into that night. You have a long way to go. You know, you can get out there and do a couple dances, but it's nothing like you're like, okay, well, like I am so tired now. I need to like get off the dance floor. So,
Yeah. If you're a DJ and you look out and that dance floor is empty, like, how do you bring it back? I don't think you can. I've never seen it come back.
Oh my gosh. Well, we always leave right after, so it's like hard.
Yeah,
to
there's
say
usually a
that.
song that plays at every wedding, and I'm like, that is my cue to go. Like when Shania Twain comes on, I'm like, bye bye.
Like, okay, bye.
Justin Timberlake, we've got a feeling, or whatever. I've got a feeling. I'm like, see ya.
Yeah, so true.
I actually had a crazy DJ story from this wedding season.
Oh my gosh.
So the ceremony had been planned. The bride was going to walk out to whenever, like at this certain point of this song. So guests are ready to go. Bridal party's ready to go. Everyone's like kind of in that moment of getting everyone organized. And then the bride's like, okay, so when so-and-so, whatever his name was, plays this song, I'll walk out. That everyone kind of pauses for a minute and is like, wait a minute, the DJ's not here.
Wait, what? He wasn't even...
Nothing's set up. The ceremony is like, they're literally about to walk down the aisle. So everyone's scrambling around trying to figure out what to do. Some hero pulls his truck, backs his truck kind of up and puts the playlist.
Okay, that's kind of romantic. But yeah, like
way more romantic if the loud truck didn't have to like beep beep. I don't
you're
think
right.
it did
You're
that,
right.
just kidding.
It wasn't romantic.
Yeah, so it worked out. Like, there's always a fast thinker at every wedding that comes to the rescue, but like. Anyway, this DJ's nowhere to be found. Finally, someone gets in contact. He thought it was the next day. He thought the wedding was on Sunday. Come on. No. If I ever book a wedding on a Friday or a Sunday, I check with them like 100 times because weddings are not typically on Fridays or Sundays. They're on Saturdays, guy. So anyway, midway through dinner, there's no music playing. It's silent because there's no DJ. He comes in with all his stuff, like sweating, like out of breath, makes such a commotion, setting everything up. And then the music comes on like mid-dinner. It's like a little bit too loud because it's just a nightmare. Yeah.
Brutal.
So hire a professional.
Yes.
Don't hire someone who does it as their side gig.
No. Yeah. I don't personally have this DJ story, but I heard about this.
It's yours now.
It was in the news.
It's your story now.
So this DJ, one thing that they have to deal with is noise, decibels, timing, when do things have to go down, and this DJ in particular was not listening to any of the rules. So
he was drunk.
Probably. Vendor coordinator goes over, hey, can you please turn it down? It's at our time. It needs to be within the guidelines. They have people staying in the hotel, right? And there's like, that's why they have guidelines. And the bride and groom were well aware of this before they signed a contract about it. And I'm not sure if he signed a contract about it, but anyway, he was putting up a fuss. Anyway, so he lowers it down. They go about their business. 5 minutes later, it's blasting again. And he just kept doing this. And then they were like, they told the bride and groom that they will have to, like, shut down their wedding if he doesn't turn it down. So the bride and groom had to get involved, go talk to the DJ about turning it down, and he just went off. Like, very explosive type of personality, very unprofessional, and basically causes a whole riff and the police are called and he has to be actually escorted off of the property because he won't turn it down. Like, this is bizarre,
is crazy.
man. Like,
this is someone you're paying to work for you.
Yeah.
And you almost got escorted out.
If you're a vendor and you're almost ruining someone's wedding, you should not be in this business.
He was
like,
so committed to his playlist. He was
Apparently.
like, the people need to hear this song. I'm not leaving until they hear.
Literally. So that's bizarre.
Okay.
Well, yeah, the DJs. Okay, we're gonna stop ragging on you. Like, I feel like we
are a DJ and you're legit. Share your name with us.
We have a few. Like, I can shout out. I think it's Revolution Entertainment right away. They always show up very professional. They have their gear. Like,
Pez Productions,
to work
they're amazing.
with. Like,
there's a few out there.
There's a few out there that are really
research.
good. Yeah. Do your research depending on the vibe that you want. Like, you just gotta find. Yeah. Okay, on to the next. Who else should we discuss here? I feel like, honestly, I think we kind of went through most of them. We're gonna leave
the
photographers to the last. But here's a little general bad vendor behavior: is vendors ghosting clients. Let's quickly dive into that.
don't be a ghost.
Yeah,
If a client emails you and you're booked for that day, it's the same thing we talked about last week when clients do it to us. It feels terrible.
Yes.
So respond back and say, hey, sorry, I'm booked. Here's 2 other people that are available. Mm-hmm. Easy.
And
takes 5 minutes.
I've heard a couple of my clients have had to deal with really bad situations where they're trying to just start planning and getting information from the venue, and
well, that's a pretty good sign
weeks
that that's
to
not someone you
reply.
want to work with.
Yeah,
Right? That's
yeah.
a red flag.
Yeah, 100%. So lots of ghosting and lots of not showing up. So like yeah, it's bad out there, guys. So just do your research.
Do your research.
Gossiping, vendors gossiping in front of people, and when you are at a wedding and on a wedding day, like, you are professional, you need to act that way. Like, if you get into some altercation with another vendor, like, it's
The whole wedding will know about it.
Oh, yeah.
I think we talked about this before too, but if you treat everyone at the wedding with respect and kindness and whatever, someone from that wedding is going to be getting married. And they might hire you.
Exactly.
So if you're showing up being an asshole to everyone, guess what?
You're
no
not
one's gonna hire you.
Totally. But like, even like just sitting there and bringing up maybe a bad experience with like someone else, like there's ears everywhere. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just bad vibes. So don't do that.
Leave your bad vibes at home.
Okay, well, since we've ragged on everyone else, shall we get into photographers? Because although Lisa and I might be perfect,
no, I'm not. I'm going to share my story because I messed up.
We're not perfect.
No.
There's a lot of photographers and videographers
perfect.
out there that mess up, but there's some really bad behavior by photographers as well. So
I had just recently, a couple months ago, I did a shoot for a couple. It was their anniversary, so she brought her wedding dress, and they kind of got dressed up, and we did a fun like couple shoot, which was amazing. And during that shoot, we were chatting, and she said, "Oh, when will we get our photos back?" And I said, "Oh, my contract, it's 10 weeks, but I'm not that busy right now, so you'll get them in a few weeks." And she was like, "What? Like, really? We'll get them in a few weeks?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And she said, "We eloped, I forget how many years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. It took them 8 months.
8 months.
To get their photos.
That's
maybe 6 months.
insane.
6 or 8 months to get their photos.
That's insane.
And I was like, just so you know, that's not normal. Like, what was the reason for this? And she said that there wasn't one. The photographer was just so wishy-washy. They kept asking, and she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have COVID." So, like, bro, if you have COVID, you're at home.
Yeah.
Editing the photos. What? So, like, this actually is a legit photographer.
Oh my gosh.
We both follow them and know of them. And this is the kind of practice that's happening out there. So that is not okay.
Not okay.
And it was an elopement. It wasn't even a full wedding. It was like a beautiful helicopter elopement in the mountains. Like, that should take no time at all to edit.
That just tells me that they took on way too much work or something, which is another bad vendor behavior. Like, you really need to make sure you're giving your clients an experience. And if you're not able to live up to timelines, deadlines, and giving that experience,
you need to check your business practices or stop booking so much work.
Yep. 100%. Holy gosh. Oh my gosh. That's like 8 months is crazy. Like, anyways, that's why people switch up on photographers. Okay. Do you have any other stories of like other photographers? Have you had?
There's that recent story in the city where we're actually trying to book one of these clients, but there was a photographer in the city that had taken on a whole season's worth of clients.
Yeah.
Shot their weddings and then just
Disappeared.
Some of those people, I think maybe they all eventually got their photos, but this took like more than a year of people. I put my Barbara Walters interview skills.
Yeah, you did.
And had a little interview with one of these people so I could talk about this story. It took, I think, over a year for them to get their photos back. And even then, they were edited by a different photographer, so they were not edited by the person they hired. This person could not give an excuse. It was like, oh, they're coming tomorrow. Oh, in a week. Oh, my uncle died. Oh, I'm having mental health struggle. Oh, my cat's sick. Whatever, like 100
communication,
runarounds
guys.
and excuses.
Yeah.
And
sometimes just being honest and like having clear communication instead of like just these blank promises. These empty promises make it worse because these poor bride and groom, like these couples are just waiting, excited and waiting, and disappointed again and again.
Friends and family are saying, hey, did you get your photos? We want to see them. Where are the, and they're like, I don't know.
Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, this photographer just took off. I don't think anyone still knows what happened.
It's hard. It was her first year going full time, and I think it's a lot. And I think when you are doing your research, keep things in mind of like, you know, like obviously everyone has to start somewhere, but when you're first starting out, I think limiting how much you're taking, because it is a huge job that we do, and it has taken me years to, you know, have a good system in place where I don't drop the ball, basically. So that's a really good story, and that's something that we should dive into, like with the episode of red flags that we're going to be coming out with eventually. But yeah, that's crazy. Hopefully we'll get to the bottom of that story.
Oh yeah. If you are listening and you are one of those brides, we want to talk to you.
Yeah.
We want to hear your story. Okay, we've been talking forever. We initially were like, our episodes will be 30 minutes, but god damn it, we have so much to say.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about.
We need to learn how to shut it once in a while. Okay, I'm going to tell, I messed up pretty bad at like something crazy happened to me this year, and the couple doesn't know who it was, and I will not reveal any details, but it was fully my fault, and it could have completely ruined the day. So, I bought new cameras last year, and this was my first wedding of the year having my new cameras. My old cameras, I would use like maybe one battery throughout the day, but I do have a bunch of extra batteries. I usually always pack a charger in my camera bag, but it was early in the year, and I don't know, I like plugged in and forgot it somewhere or whatever. It wasn't in my bag. So I noticed like it was a hot day and I was just flying through camera batteries.
Oh no.
And then I realized that I had no charger.
Oh my gosh.
And then I realized that I was in a location where no one could bring it to me. There wasn't anyone around. And I was like starting to panic. I was trying to conserve my battery and just shoot with one camera, but they were just like honestly like melting, and I was like, what is happening? And so I was trying to remain calm, because on a wedding day there's no time to like go into a spiral or whatever, thankfully. And this group I think has saved like all of our asses at one point, but we have an amazing group of photographers and other vendors on a chat, so we all help each other out when we can. And I panic posted in the group and was like, any chance someone's out here where I am, because I have like one battery left and it's the ceremony. Like I was like, felt sick to my stomach.
Totally.
I was panicking. Thank Christ, I will like love this person forever. This person was leaving their wedding and happened to shoot the same kind of camera as me, and was like,
oh my gosh.
I'm here, I have a charger and a battery, and I'm coming right now. Came to this, I never met this person in my life, never talked to them. She came to the wedding, brought a charger, brought batteries.
Amazing.
Like I would have been completely fucked.
Yeah.
What would I have done?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Amazing people. Like what?
Yeah.
I can't believe
I'm
she
so
did
thankful
that.
to her. It was so nice.
Gosh. That's scary. That's like a little out of your control too, like weather and like we have lots of batteries, but it's like
I learned my lesson. I do an inventory of my bag every time. I have like 10 chargers.
But it's crazy because like these mirrorless cameras like really eat up the battery
Yeah.
already with like the screen and all that good stuff, but it's the heat can like weather can really affect your gear as well. If it's too
Yeah.
cold or too hot, we have some issues here.
Yeah. But it's kind of just what we were talking about. Like, things can go wrong.
Yeah.
It's just how you handle it.
Exactly. You could have
Thank God.
freaked out. You could have told the bride and groom. That would have
I even
ruined
called-
moments in their day. Like,
Yeah, the place where I was didn't have like a camera store or anything. I was
Oh my
even
gosh.
thinking like if there's a
Go
camera
buy
store,
one, yeah.
maybe the planner could run out and get, whatever. Someone could do that, but it's also it's how you handle it and like remaining calm. If that was someone that that had happened to me when I was just starting out and
yeah.
I didn't have that network of people to reach out to, like
Totally.
the day would have been ruined. So
yeah, I'm really grateful for the people that we know and
Yeah.
and don't even know, but
Yeah.
are in that group and like have yet to meet. And
So as much as we're ragging on all the vendors,
Yeah.
there's so many that we love.
oh, there's so
Should
many
we
we love.
just like rapid fire? Like
Yeah.
shout. Okay, well I'm gonna shout out this girl that saved my life.
Yeah.
Okay. Why can't I say this? Magnific photography.
Okay.
Amazing. Like a gem.
I have not met her.
Yeah, I
but
think her
want
name
to.
is Amelia, and she is just
yeah.
like actual lifesaver.
Oh my
Anything
gosh.
she wants, forever. Arm, leg, kidney, it's all hers. Okay, say a few. Who do you love?
Amazing. Oh, well, first comes to mind is Pine for Cedar, Brittany.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Love her.
incredible.
Amazing. She's a florist. Follow
Yeah,
her.
incredible, talented florist.
I am obsessed, like low-key girl crush on Breton from Venue 308
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
she's
Brownstone.
killing
We're
it.
obsessed with her. We're
Yeah.
hounding her to get her on this podcast. She
Amazing.
is someone you want to run into on the wedding
Yeah,
day.
amazing venues,
Yeah.
like
Amazing.
stunning, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
she has a photography background as
She
well.
does,
So
yeah. We're gonna talk to
Oh,
her.
that just brought one up. Cole
Yeah, Cole.
Hofstra. He's an amazing officiant here.
We didn't talk about officiant bad people. They're saved today.
Oh my gosh,
They
you're
escaped
right
today, but
They
we're coming for
escaped.
them.
There's a ton we could
Yeah.
say about that.
We'll
Oh
circle
my
back for
gosh.
episode 2.
Yeah, we'll have to make a part 2 of this. But yeah, and if you guys think of any really bad vendor behavior, or if you've experienced bad vendor behavior, make sure to DM us and let us know your
Or
story.
leave a
We wanna share
comment
it.
because we want to hear about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Well, good
this was a
episode.
good episode. Yeah, I think we covered a lot.
We went hard, but like it needed to be done.
Yeah.
We're basically out here like saving lives.
Saving lives. That's a slogan. Like, let's edit saving lives over here.
This is life-changing work we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks for everyone tuning in today. This is
Yeah, we appreciate you guys following along. We have been checking to see how many downloads we have. We get so excited.
Yeah.
So
we're really, really stoked.
if you are just listening to the podcast, unfortunately, that doesn't help us. We need those downloads. So download it. Please subscribe so you automatically download each episode.
Yeah.
And this is just the beginning. We have some hot
it is
stuff
just
coming.
the beginning. We have so much to dive into, and like we're putting ourselves out there. You know, we're ready for those hater comments. They haven't come yet.
I don't know if I am.
There's always going to be someone who hates us.
Yeah, it's true. Well, see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Who's
see you
next?
guys in 2 weeks. We'll see.
is
We
next?
might have a speaker on
Yeah.
for the next episode, but we'll see. We'll keep you guys
We
posted.
have an exciting guest that we have a recorded episode with, so we're just waiting for the right time to share it with you guys, and I think you're going to like it.
And if you guys are curious on finding out who is going to be next, we do share some a little sneaky peeks and everything on our Instagram stories. So
Stay tuned.
stay tuned. Cheers to that.
Cheers.